friends! Welcome to Classisode 2. This is actually a 2-part episode. So the first 25 or so minutes here in this Classisode, consistency, am I right, is an overview of karma. We're going to cover the definition of karma, the mechanics of karma, the difference between karma and destiny, and then a roadmap to transmuting and transcending karma. In the next part 2 Classisode of Classisode 2, we're going to do soul collection, which is an integral part of healing our collective karma. Enjoy. Hello, friends. Welcome to Classisode 2, where today we will be discussing karma. And Sammy's gonna come out and say hello to you. What a blessing. What a karmic blessing. Well, here's the thing, Sammy, is that you're super welcome to join me for class, but we're just gonna be chill, right? Yeah. We're gonna see. We're just gonna roll with it though, because this is what the situation is. Okay, I got my whiteboard out. It's empty because we're gonna fill it together. All right. And we're gonna take, before we do anything, 3 deep breaths. That one was just the predecessor. All right. So we're gonna clear our minds, we're gonna clear our conceptions, we're gonna clear our need to intellectually understand, and rather we're going to allow, and we're going to feel. And anything that comes up for you, don't attach to it. Don't feel like you need to travel down the cord and dig it and rope it in right now, but note it. It's important if it comes up. Whether it's a feeling, a story, a vibration, an emotion, if it's resistance, if it's excitement, whatever it is, clip, clop, clip, just note it. All right, let's take some deep breaths together. Ready? And if you'd like to join me with your hands at heart center and straightening your spine wherever you are, this just helps. When we do this, when we sit in a posture where our spines are straight, it allows, even if it's difficult, the chest to open, and we want to open our hearts, right? Like our chakras, our subtle body is expressly, intimately, exactly connected to our physical body. So if we're this, that's our our literal heart chakra space is this. It's hunched. And if our spine is, our breath isn't traveling all the way down, okay? So shake it out. Okay. Feel that energy leave. A lot of folks watching right now have some stuff in the belly. This is our solar plexus, our seed of power. And when we talk about karma, and this is our action, and karma is action. So it makes sense that this would be kind of congested and resistant when the topic of karma comes up. So I want you to put your attention on your belly right now and breathe really deeply into your belly, and don't judge it if it's shaky. Don't judge it if it's weak. Don't judge it if you have difficulty filling your diaphragm. Don't judge yourself, okay? And if you are, don't judge that you're judging, right? What's going on with that light thing? Whatever, it is what it is. Okay, so attention on your solar plexus. Good job recognizing your thought zone and taming it. We want to tame it, right? We're in control. Release as much as you can. And remember that we can only release so much at a time. So if you feel like a lot came out just now, excellent. If you feel like an inch came out just now, excellent. All right, so karma is action. That's the definition of karma, to put it into a one-word definition, okay? I'm gonna keep up on my whiteboard, and I'm doing this with markers because I'm gonna turn this into art. I mean, it already is, and now it's about to artify itself. Okay, so we got action up here. That's the literal definition of karma. It's our action, okay? And we're gonna actually start with the difference because people get this confused really often. And it makes sense why, because it's not very complex though. It's actually quite simple. We're gonna talk about it. But I understand why it can be confusing. We're gonna talk about the difference between karma and destiny. That's where we're gonna start, okay? So, destiny. This is kind of, I guess, more for me than for you. I'm having fun with my whiteboard. Okay. Destiny, so karma. Let's start with one of my favorite quotes from Buddha, which is going to illustrate this really well for us, okay? If you want to know your past, look at your present. If you want to know your future, look at your present. Destiny is the karma we've collected preceding every incarnation. I should state that this framework is in an intercarnative framework. It is what it is. So if that's something that you intellectually don't believe, well, simply it just is what it is. Here's where we are. So it's all the karma that you've collected up until now. So what you were born into with this life, the things that you cannot change. Okay, I'm going to give you personal examples to illustrate, all right? One of my parents had difficulty with addiction. And growing up, I was the child of a parent with difficulty with addiction, which was difficult, right? And of course, more complex than just the simple word difficult, but we're gonna leave it there for now because that's not necessary to get into. It just is what it is. I was brought into this lifetime with that. That was my destiny to be born into that, right? My karma, the karmic aspect, my very last lifetime in the 70s, I was doing a lot of drugs, and I was not there for key people in my life to whom I was responsible, accountable. I didn't take accountability for myself. I was scapegoating and escaping. I've been incarnating as a Pisces for a while. You incarnate in each sign until you master that energy. And one of the shadow sides of Pisces is victimization and escape. And then you draw drugs into that, and is what it is. So it was my karma, it was my destiny, and it's my karma. You see, I can't change the fact that that happened, right? Okay, so that's the difference between destiny and karma. Okay, so the karma that you've collected up until this point in your present that's your destiny, all right? Everything moving forward is your future karma. It's your action. So now we can talk about transmuting. Do we want to talk about transmuting there? Do we have an understanding of karma? I don't think I've said action, but okay, let me go a little bit deeper. The soul in alignment knows exactly the difference between what is right and what is wrong. And there is a what is right and what is wrong in every moment. In literally every moment, okay? And that can feel overwhelming until you learn how to, that it's not an intellectual decision-making process in every moment, though it is, but it's vibrational, okay? When we are in alignment, we feel the vibration of what is right. And we can intellectually know, like if I am walking down the street and, I don't know, I can't come up with an example right now, but just imagine any number of examples, I'll give you a minute while I sip my coffee, where you can think of a difference between what is right and what is wrong. That you know it, intellectually. But beneath the intellectualization is just the simple vibration. Is it a high vibration? Is it a low vibration? Okay. When we are in alignment, we act in what is called spontaneous right action. It's just not even, there's no debate in our head about should I do this or should I do that when we are in our moment by moment decision making process. It's simply in the flow, spontaneous right action. It's exactly what it sounds like. Okay? How do we get into alignment? Right? Because it can actually be really difficult to get there if we have collected all of these, if we've silenced that voice and we've turned it down and we're just doing what we think we want to do, which is following digested veils of ego. Let's talk a little bit more about the mechanics of karma. Okay, karma is precise. It's never off kilter. We are returned what we put into the universe. Okay, it comes back to us. So if we are in alignment with spontaneous right action, or rather, even if we're not at a place where we understand the vibrational aspect of spontaneous right action, or the flow, if we feel like we're kind of like, we're close to understanding that, or we're doing that, but like maybe we have some stuff to take accountability for and some stuff to work through, right? Which always starts with non-judgment. We can still understand our conscience. We can tune into our conscience and feel what is right and what is wrong, okay? And so it is returned to us, all right? So it is precise. It is both inter-lifetime and intra-lifetime. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is transmutation and transcending. Transmuting and transcending our karma. Okay, so any difficulty that we're experiencing in this lifetime is an indication that we haven't grown that muscle or healed that story or completed that lesson, learned that lesson, integrated that lesson through lifetimes. So it is simultaneously an expression of where you are throughout all of your incarnations, as well as what have you done in this lifetime. What have you done right, like leading up to this moment right fucking now since you were born in this lifetime? I'm gonna try not to curse. Okay, so the first step is roadmap for us. This isn't necessarily linear, though I am going to present it in a linear fashion. Okay, so the first step is to take accountability for our karma, to recognize that we live in a fractalized world governed by the law of karma, meaning everything external is a direct, precise reflection of the internal, of where our souls are at. Okay, so we must take accountability for everything around us, for our entire lives. There is no more victim role in karma. Even I'm going to use this example, and I can understand how in a material sense this could be taken out of context and misinterpreted, but it is what it is, okay? So I take accountability that my soul chose between carnations. It wrote in the story of me being raped this lifetime because I needed to process past sexual assault, past sexual trauma. I needed to grow out of the victim role. I needed to expand my compassion. I needed to heal. And well, there's a lot to the rest of that, but we'll save that. That can be actually in a different episode in Classisode 6, where I'll talk more about sacred sexuality and healing sexual trauma. But the long and short of it is that I take accountability for that needed to happen in this lifetime. And I could not be where I am today if that did not happen. I'm not victim blaming. I'm not saying that because I was drunk, I deserved to get raped. Nope. What I am saying is that, bigger picture speaking, it was necessary for me to learn a lesson. And love looks like many different things. Think about being a kid and being your mom or your grandma giving you, or your dad or your grandfather, clearly. Anyway, so think about someone you love, older and wiser, giving you medicine that tastes really bad, but they know that it's going to heal you. You don't know that because you're a kid and you're like, this is nasty, like, ugh, blah, blah. And so that is a good metaphor to describe, like, love looks like many different things. It is lessons, it is learning, it is coming into alignment. And the only way that we do that sometimes, the only way we do it is by coming into full accountability for our full selves and no longer being victim. Okay, so we must take accountability. And then simultaneously with that, because again, non-linearity, is acceptance. Accepting exactly where we are. Accepting it in every regard, in the individual, the big picture, accepting this lifetime, accepting time, accepting the external, accepting the internal, accepting everything that is. That is the only way. That step can't be, none of these steps can be skipped, okay? We have to truly accept that things are where they are. If we are putting energy toward resisting what is, what a waste of energy that is. Literally, think about just logically. Now we can engage the logic, right? Think about how illogical it is to waste our energy, which is literal, on something that we can't change. It is what it is. Things are what they are. Okay, now what? Now what do we do? Accept that. And then the next step, and this is the process of transmutation, right, is learning the lesson that was inside of it and recognizing that it's love, that it's your higher self, that it is spirit, it is the interconnected life force. I use the term God X. You can sub whatever term you like. But nonetheless, higher selves, it is just, all of these things are really, you can't get around it. It just is what it is. But higher self seems to be a word that more people are comfortable with than things that are strictly, well, I get it, because what is spiritual has been co-opted by religion. And we're not going to go there right now. Okay. So your higher self is a real, true entity. Okay. And where was I going with that? Your higher self knows the purpose of that story. So it is our job to learn the lesson and then to move forward having integrated that lesson. This brings us into alignment with our higher selves. And then we integrate our higher selves and we live our higher selves and we absorb all that information, which is not what we're talking about right now. Okay, another important part of that process is cutting karmic cords. Oh, that sounded nice. Cutting karmic cords, okay? And we mean this in a couple ways. Firstly, oh, you know what I should write into here along with that? Let's talk about forgiveness for a second. Okay. Forgiveness is absolutely a necessary part of the puzzle, okay? But really, we are talking about forgiving other people, certainly, and we're gonna get there. But what actually is missed and what is therefore like people continue to experience like, well, I've forgiven them, truly, maybe you really feel that. It's very possible that you can really truly feel that you've forgiven someone else for what they've done, whether it's this lifetime or past lifetimes. But if you have not forgiven yourself, then it's for naught. Okay, I'm going to give an example. In a few lifetimes ago, I was strangled to death by a lover. Okay? And I have been working on forgiving that individual, that soul, for a long time. And I was like, I've forgiven them. I truly have forgiven them. Why is this vibration still vibrating in me? Because it's all vibration. The story is a vibration. So why is this still vibrating in me? Why can't I release it? Why am I still having these dreams? Why am I still having this feeling, right? It can come up in lots of ways. And I realized the other day in a beautiful meditation by the creek, thank you, Mother Creek, that it's because I didn't forgive myself I left a child behind. I was a mother. This was someone who I'm not going to go into too much detail. But I was feeling responsible. I was feeling like, you idiot, you let yourself die and you left behind a trail of pain. And if you had just not invited him into your home, or, you know, if you had really stayed gone when you said you were going to leave, or if you had done you wouldn't have died. And so here I was telling my beautiful self, when you leave a lifetime and you have not made peace with that death, that ghost calls you back and back and back and back, and it lives inside of you, beckoning for healing. Okay? So that ghost was living inside of me with all this judgment toward myself. And all the things that I didn't resolve in that lifetime were driving the car inside of me, somewhere in my subconscious. They were driving the car up on me, up through me, okay? And so it literally wasn't until the other day where I encourage you to friends, as the universe would have it, I got a call from someone who was going through literally the exact topic that I was discussing right now, of a ghost from the past, unresolved, wanting their attention. So I am going to insert a screenshot or just a photograph of my whiteboard, rather, with kind of this roadmap to the karmic process, or transmuting the karmic process. And this is going to be part 1 of the episode. And part 2, we are going to actually do a meditation together in which I'm going to lead soul collection. Soul collection is the answer to the ghost, could also be described as soul fragmentation. So we're going to do some soul collection together. We're going to vibrate above our beautiful self that is calling to us from the past, who needs our healing and needs our forgiveness and needs our help releasing. And we're going to integrate the lesson together, and we're going to move forward in wholeness and healing and enlightenment. All of that is the same thing. wholeness, healing, enlightenment. It's all the same. Okay? So I hope you gleaned from this episode what you were meant to glean. Well, obviously you did, because there is no other than what is. Am I right? Yes. Okay. All right. So much love. So much love. So much love. I'll see you. No, you'll see me in the next episode. I'll feel you, though. You know I feel you. I feel you hard, okay? I'll feel you in the next episode. Bye.